everybody! Welcome to the Jayda InStitches show. It's time for another crochet quick fix. So let's grab our hooks, grab our yarn, head on over to the craft table, and let's stitch it up together. Today's crochet quick fix is this cute little skull patch or applique. You need less than 10 grams of white yarn and a very small amount of black in order to complete this project. If you're making this for an existing project, be sure to use the same fiber content of yarn for your patch that matches your existing project. So for example, if your blanket or sweater or hat is acrylic, be sure to use acrylic yarn. If it's cotton, use cotton, etc. I'm using a size 4 medium yarn in acrylic for this project. I need less than 10 grams of white and a very small amount of black. You also need a pair of scissors, a yarn needle, and the hook I'm using is a 4.5 millimeter, also known as a 7 in the US or the UK, but a 4.25 millimeter, also known as a G6 in the US, would be fine for this project too. And once you've got all that together, we can get started. I have two sizes of patch here. The larger one is almost 4 by 4.5 inches or 10 by 11 centimeters. The smaller one is just over 3 by about 3.5 inches or 8 by almost 10 centimeters. I'm going to be demonstrating the smaller patch today, but if you want to make the larger one, you just have to substitute the double crochet stitch for the half double crochet stitch, which we'll be using here. So if you're making a bigger one, use the double crochet stitch wherever I use the half double in this project. And we'll talk about the eyes when we get there. We're going to begin with a cinch circle. We will not be chaining 2 at the beginning of each row for the half double crochet. We're going to pretend that it's sort of like a larger single crochet for this project. Into your cinch circle, you're going to work 12 half double crochets. Once you have 12 half double crochet worked into that little cinch circle, cinch it up nice and tight. Find the first half double crochet you made. It'll probably be just slipping down a little bit to the side, and join with a slip stitch. You're going to chain 1, and you're going to work 2 half double crochet into the same stitch as joining. So we're on to row 2 here. For the rest of row 2, you're just going to work 2 half double crochet into each stitch all the way around. You should have 24 half double crochet at the end of row 2. Find the first one you made. Remember, the top of it probably is pulled down a little bit because we're only chaining 1 at the beginning of our rows. And we're going to join with a slip stitch. We've got one more row of expansion to do. We're going to chain 1 to begin. Into the same stitch as joining, you're going to work 2 half double crochet. And 1 half double crochet into the stitch after that. And that's the little repeater we're going to work all the way around. 2 half double crochet into the next stitch. Half double crochet once into the stitch after that. Repeat all the way around, and I'll catch up with you at the end of row 3. At the end of row 3, you should have 36 half double crochet. Find the top of the first one you made. Remember, it sort of slides a little bit to the side. Join with a slip stitch, and that's it for the head part of our little skull. We're going to chain 1, half double crochet in the same stitch that we joined in, and half double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches. You should have 6 half double crochet. You're going to chain 1, turn your work, and single crochet in each stitch all the way back to the beginning. So you'll have 6 single crochet across the bottom of that little half double crochet ledge that you built. Remember that your last stitch might be just sort of down the side a little bit because we're only chaining 1 at the beginning of our little half double crochet rows, and that is it. If you're going to sew this on, make sure you leave yourself a nice long tail because you would use this yarn to sew down your patch onto your existing project. Fasten off, And if your little short tail is still sticking out the back, take a moment to weave that in. Next, we want to make his eyes. So you're going to make 2 of these identical. If you're making the little one along with me, you're only going to work 4 single crochet into your cinch circle. If you're making the slightly larger skull, you can work 6 single crochet into your cinch circle. With your black yarn, make a cinch circle, and for the small skull, work 4 single crochet into that circle. If you're making the large one, work 6. Once you have 4 single crochet, or 6, worked into your cinch circle, grab the short tail, cinch it up nice and tight, find the top of that first single crochet you made, slip stitch to join, fasten off, leave enough yarn that you can sew your eye onto your patch, and then grab your yarn needle, flip it over, and weave your short tail in around the back. You can trim any excess. Next, you want to arrange your eyes in the center of your skull, pretty much on either side of the very center of row 1. And because this is a patch, it doesn't have to be neat and tidy. You can sew all the way through your fabric for this one. You can pin them into place if you feel it's necessary, or just start sewing them down. Be sure to grab the edge of every single stitch all the way around your eye. You can sew back and forth through the fabric as you go. Once you've sewn both eyes down, just flip it over, grab both those tails, and knot them together. Be careful not to pull too tightly because you don't want to bend your skull. Then you can just trim any excess. Next, we're going to add his little teeth. You want to cut a length of black yarn approximately 16 inches or 40 centimeters. Thread up your needle and come from behind. You want to bring your yarn up between the edge and the first half double crochet. Don't pull it all the way through, so leave a little bit out the end. And then go down through the same sort of space between stitches at the other end of the mouth. Then you're going to come up between the next sort of set of stitches. So you went down here, you're going to come up between the next set of half double crochets. Don't pull too tightly. And then bring your needle down between the set of single crochets directly below it. Same thing, next stitch over. Try not to pull tightly. You don't want to pull these little teeth out of alignment. You also don't want to make big holes in between all of your stitches. In all, you're going to do this 4 times. Then you can flip it over. Make a very small knot, do not pull too tightly, on the back, snip the excess yarn, and for neatness sake, you can just pull those 2 black ends underneath the little teeth stitches that are there. If you have any excess sticking out, just trim it up. And you're done. One cute little skull patch. Remember, if you're making the larger size, you want to use double crochet in place of the half double crochet, but you will want to chain 3 at the beginning of each row in order to get the right height of your double crochet. If you're making it a patch, be sure to leave a long tail at the end of the white skull part so that you can sew it down when you're finished. I hope you enjoyed making this cute little skull patch along with me, and we'll see you soon here on the Jayda InStitches show. Until then, stay safe, stay crafty. We'll see you soon. Bye, everybody. Please visit our shop and purchase a pattern. It helps support our show, and we'll put a link to our shop in the description box down below.